Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the early games, Steelers at the Titans. The line opened up Steelers -1.5. It's up to 2. So who do you like here?
I think I like the Titans here a little bit. Both of these teams suffered very significant injuries, one on defense for the Steelers, one on offense for the Titans. You hit on already. Taylor Lewan's out for the season with the torn ACL. The Titans will certainly miss him, but I think that they may be better equipped to deal with his loss than the Steelers will be to deal with Devin Bush's loss, because Bush is the glue that keeps that defense together. He's their most talented linebacker by far and is a true 3-down player. They don't have anyone beside him that could really take on that role. So I think you may see some issues in this first game back of getting the defensive line and calling the defense. I think Robert Spillane's going to come in. I don't know if he'll be the defensive play caller. But without Devin Bush, they're going to have to rely on someone else to call plays for them, which I think is huge. And, the Titans, Luwan's an excellent blocker, but they do have experienced backup Ty Sembrilo available. He's not always been very good, but he's at least played a lot, and he could possibly play on the right side with Dennis Kelly moving to the left. And then Isaiah Wilson, their first-round pick, is around too. I don't know if he's going to be able to play at any point or if he can eventually take over, but they do have options that I think could work. And I just think that with Devin Bush gone, the Titans have the formula to expose the Steelers defense by kind of negating their pass rush, because they can run with Derrick Henry and then run some short, quick routes over the middle. If the Steelers are having trouble getting aligned, Ryan Tannehill can get the ball, get it out, get it to his receivers. They can make plays happen. And if they're not aligned properly, like Adam Humphries, Jonnu Smith, if he's healthy, and AJ Brown can do some damage after the catch. So I like the Titans in here a little bit. I'm not super confident in this one. I'm probably going to go 1 or 2 units on this one, leaning closer to 1 now, just because the Steelers do have an elite pass rush, and Taylor Lewan is their best offensive lineman for the Titans. But I think the Titans being the underdogs here, I will favor them in what I think should be a close game.
Yeah, we agree. And the Devin Bush injury was pretty impactful for the Steelers, I think. Kind of reminds me of the Ryan Shazier injury. Now, obviously, like, Shazier was a better player than Devin Bush, and the injury was like far more severe. So fortunately for Bush, he'll be back next year. But missing him now is going to be pretty detrimental for them because, like you said, he's the glue that holds everything together. And not having him in the middle of the field is going to cause some miscommunications on defense and stuff like that. And so I think a smart coach like Mike Vrabel and his coaching staff will be able to figure stuff out. And by the way, how genius is that Vrabel intentional penalty? That was just amazing. Like he's been very impressive, I thought already, and like that just takes it to another level. So that is really cool to see. But yeah, I mean, the Taylor Lewan injury is kind of a bummer here because I'd like Tennessee more if they had him, and we don't really know what they're going to do with tackle. Isaiah Wilson is eligible to come back, but we don't know if he's going to play yet. But the Titans are the only team with an offensive line concern. David DeCastro was out last week against the Browns. And I liked the Browns because of the DeCastro injury. I thought with 2 offensive linemen down, I thought Cleveland could dominate up front. And while I got the pick wrong, I was at least right on that because the Steelers, I think they had like 277 net yards of offense. That's it. And they averaged 4.5 yards per play. So like they didn't do anything offensively outside of a couple of plays. It was just all taking advantage of Baker Mayfield's turnovers. So if DeCastro's out again, and they're going to be missing 2 offensive linemen once more against a front with Jeffrey Simmons and Daquan Jones and Jadeveon Clowney. I think the Steelers could be in trouble. So for me, if DeCastro's out, I'm going to be on Tennessee for quite a bit. If DeCastro's playing, I may not bet the game, but I'm still probably going to be on Tennessee.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think the other thing about the Pittsburgh offense is Ben Roethlisberger's kind of throwing a lot of short, like dink and dunk type passes. He's not taking as many chances downfield as he used to, and he's a little bit less accurate on the deep ball. So I think that plays a role in it too. Like if they're going to run that type of offense, if they can't block, it's going to be easier for Tennessee to sniff things out and kind of make big plays. So I agree with you on the state of the Pittsburgh offense. The DeCastro injury definitely was impactful. And, if Baker Mayfield hadn't been so bad, we might have seen a different result against the Browns.
Yeah, someone's asking thoughts for calling for Baker's job. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's the same thing with the people who were calling for Jimmy Garoppolo's job in San Francisco. You know, the minute Baker Mayfield gets back on the field, and if he leads a win against the Bengals, it'll all go away. And I just don't think that Case Keenum's a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I could be wrong. There are too many Case Keenum truthers out there too, so I don't want to get into this debate again. But yeah, I think Baker's got significantly more upside, and if he didn't have a significant rib injury, that game could have gone a lot different.
Yeah, it's not like the Browns have a good backup. Like Keenum's okay, but it's not like they have a Nick Foles or anything. You know, the Bears. Like you could say, oh yeah, the Bears were right for benching Trubisky because they had Foles. Like the Browns don't really have a viable alternative. Like Keenum's just there, to fill in for a game or two. He can't win long term. And Mayfield is injured. So, like, if you want to bench him for one game so you can get healthy, I'm down for that. But benching him long term, I think is a big mistake. Like, he's going to be better once he's healthy. All right.